What's up, Mike?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Just sitting here with you, man.
Awesome. Well, hey, what's new this week? Or
Not a whole
like
lot.
even today?
Not a whole lot, man. I'm on vacation this week from work.
Nice.
It's nice to get away from the factory and just
Yeah.
relax.
Well, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Did you have anything like planned this weekend, or like anything going
No,
on?
just a staycation kind of thing, you know. Get some errands done, some work done.
Okay.
And got to go into town a few times during the day, which I don't usually do, because I'm either working during the day or sleeping if I'm on nights.
Yeah.
Bunch of idiots.
A bunch of idiots.
Idiots, you know, walking in the mall or in any of the shops or anywhere I'm going to do stuff. It's just I don't fit in. I just don't fit in with people my age, man.
You don't fit in with people your age.
No, with these, you know, liberal socialists, just like, you know, hipsters. I don't. It's not me.
Okay.
So
Well, like
traditional conservative, like blue collar conservative kind of guy. Like that's who I am. So that's, you know, that's the true like 1%er
yeah,
of my generation, right? Because of the millennials.
of the millennials. So like, you're pretty much. So like, would you say that you're like feeling like out of place, or do you think you're feeling angry or sad, kind of just about nervous, like confused, or like what's
It's a mixture of like angry confusion, like out of those two, because I'm confused because the things that they do don't make sense. Like my sister, we gotta save the planet. You have to recycle, Michael. You have to recycle. But she's so lazy that she can't even put the goddamn pop can in the recycling. She puts it in the trash, and who puts it away? Me. But I'm the evil one because I think, you know, people should be allowed to work in coal mines. You know, like it doesn't make any sense, right?
yeah?
I don't understand this redundant kind of.
So is it so you're getting angry that your sister like is putting like you're getting angry at your sister for putting the pop cans in like
No,
on
it's
the
not
floor?
just my sister. My sister's just a prime example.
Okay.
Because she just happens to live in my home.
Okay.
Right? It's everyone in that age group because they seem to all, for the majority, think the same way. So the fact that you're so passionate, you have to do something, and you don't do it this way, you're evil. But their own laziness, like, kind of comes back to kick them in the butt because they don't follow through on the very thing that they preach that you have to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the best one I can use is obviously something like that, right? It's like, you know, you have to save the planet and we have to recycle, but it's, you know, I can't walk outside and put my pop cans in the recycling bin. There's a garbage can 3 feet in front of me, so I'm going to throw it in there.
Yeah.
Right? But when we have a discussion at the dinner table and we're like, hey, isn't it great, like all these guys in these coal mines in the States are getting their jobs back. Well, coal is evil, it's destroying the planet. Well, it's like, well, you really don't have any evidence of that, you know, and then, you know, you're evil if you think climate change or global warming is a myth, which it is, by the way.
So like the misplaced, so it's almost like the
Misplaced faith in like social
in the
media
values
and like the liberal and socialist values, which honestly are just,
so it just really rubs you the wrong way, like gets you kind of fired up.
Oh yeah, I honestly believe like the liberals and socialists in the Western civilization, whether it be in the United States and Canada or like, you know, Europe, for the Western world, right? The ideas that are brought forth from liberalism and socialism is pure evil. It's the only thing that's holding us back from having success.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe young people have taken. No, and young people, I mean millennials, have really taken that on, and you know, and they're, you know, they have they can't get a job, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have no application to go out and get a job, and like, pay their taxes and work hard to keep that job and like contribute something to society. But so you know what? I'm gonna hate on the people that do have them. I don't know really if I'm making any sense or not, but it's just.
Oh, I think you're making sense. So
it's just odd that
So let me see if I'm understanding you.
Yeah.
So coming from you, right? You're looking at, the misplaced values of even people in your own generation, your own generation, and you see yourself, and stop me whenever if I'm off track, but you see yourself as someone that wants to work, wants to contribute to society, and really kind of focus on the bigger picture. But then you have, or what you feel like is a bunch of people your age really just kind of fratting or putting their energy into kind of little scenario or small picture things rather than what's good for the majority of the people around us.
Yeah, it's more so that they don't really know what they believe, and they've just been swept under the idea that's been taught, like from like what you pick up both in like the classes in universities especially. It's seen in universities like over 90% of like teachers and people within the university groups and unions and stuff like that are very liberal people and pro-socialism, right? It's staggering when you read a statistic in like, millennials in North America, 42% of them, don't quote me on this, I saw this just on a video from a study down in the States, 42% are okay with socialism and are willing to embrace it, like the socialism, like where communism came from.
Yeah.
Like where hundreds of millions of people died and didn't have any rights or anything.
Yeah.
Standing in line for toilet paper and food stamps.
Okay.
Like we're okay with that.
Yeah.
Right?
Because
I can't apply myself and work, so the big government can take control of me and take control of what I have, and just tell me what to do. Yeah. It's like, no, you got to go out and do something for yourself. Go get a job. Go build a business. Go apply yourself. Well, I have anxiety and I'm depressed. So everyone does. Yeah. Just deal with it.
Yeah.
This is not like a bash against mental illness, but since when does everyone around the corner all of a sudden is like, it's just like, I'm too anxious. You can't use that as a crutch. We all get anxious and nervous at times, right?
Yeah.
You get nervous before a job interview. That's normal.
Yeah.
But you go through the job interview and you learn how to get over it.
Yeah.
But it's sure. Like, everyone thinks like, it's yeah, and you have it in class too, right? And, lowering education standards for kids, right? Like they're just, like, oh, poor little Jeremy, he has a learning disability. It's like, no, he's dumb. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but, he can apply himself and he can get the best grade he can in English or math or science, but that might not be his strong point, right? He might be an excellent plumber, but we need those.
Yeah.
So it's,
So like encouraging. So what you're saying?
Encourage to do the best that he can, but don't.
But with the skill sets that he has.
But with the skill sets that he has, don't say he has a learning disability, but he can still be president of the United States of America or prime minister. Or he can be a rocket scientist when his IQ evidently doesn't show it. And you say like, well, poor little Jeremy has a learning disability. It's like, no, it's just these are not his strengths, but he can still apply himself. And you know what? If a C+ is the best he can do, great. But guess what? He might be good at just fitting pipes together or building houses.
No, for sure.
Not to say that dumb people do those jobs. That's just where his skill sets might lie. Instead of finding out like, doing quantum theory or theoretical physics. That just might not be his strong suit, or reading Shakespeare.
No, yeah, for sure.
So it's,
So would you say that the problem that you feel like you're facing is just, again, so in the modern day society of people generally in their, early 20s to mid 30s are kind of putting their, just their talents and abilities and strengths into things that just don't seem practical, or into things that might not even necessarily be their strength, or to how would I say it, to like again contribute to society in a mass regard. So like you're talking about plumbers and coal miners and all these people doing all these jobs to support their families, but like all of a sudden now with this push of socialism and just all this stuff, liberalism, like you can, it's almost putting false hope in people that, hey, you can own a cafe, or hey, you can do this, and not saying that they can't, but do you feel that the problem is just like we're kind of fluffing up life, or kind of making things feel like, like yes, people can have dreams and if you want to pursue things, but the problem is not enough people in this generation are doing enough, you feel, are doing enough practical things?
Yeah, they're just in this lost little world where the goal seems to be, how long can I extend my college experience where I don't have to do anything, I can just have fun. I can have short-term fun for as long as I can, like impulsive fun.
Okay.
And and by the end of it, I'm in my 30s, I still don't have a full-time job, still living with mom and dad, but the government should take care of me, because they just should. That should be their job, right? They should raise minimum wage because I can't seem to get past being a barista at Starbucks. It's like, no, quit that and go work somewhere and apply yourself. Move out of your parents' basement. Do something. Have a goal in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just this misplaced. There's no ambition. There's no drive, and.
No, for sure.
And God forbid you say anything else. Like my generation is full of social justice warriors, and I'm the bad guy. I'm white, I'm Christian, I'm conservative, I'm straight. I'm evil, and you can't even have a discussion about this stuff.
So would you say the root of the problem then is, so if we're gonna take this huge scenario, right, and kind of just bring it into a really narrow spot, would you say that then, even on top of everything that, it's just, even in our society, when people say, maybe the word privileged, or just, you're coming from this spot as, like you said, a white, male, straight, Christian, conservative spot where you're like, man, I just want to have a discussion and make things better. And you're frustrated because you just feel like all this stuff's going on and you have opinions or concerns that you think might be good ideas, and it can't get out.
It's sometimes not even like having a discussion. I just want to live my life.
Yeah.
And the way I'm living life is, it's of the Stone Age now, and you're not supposed to have that. And then because I believe that, like, people who think more like right-winged or conservatively or traditionally, in traditional values of family and like stuff like that, they just don't have a place anymore.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't have a place. So when you talk to someone about this stuff, right, everyone will remember the night of shock when probably even on your campus in Mohawk, you probably weren't there at the time, it was before you went to school, but you could imagine it. Everyone come to school in Mohawk 2 years ago. Donald Trump is the president of the United States of America. Ugh, what a fascist. Ugh, he's the next Adolf Hitler. You know what? He's done great. Yeah. People have jobs again. People have faith that they can go out and do things for their family now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do something for yourself. Get out there and, take some responsibility in.
Yeah. So what would you say then, what would you say your number one, so if we can narrow it down, because there's this is over here and this, and it's kind of all these little things and all these compartmentalized areas, right? What would you say out of everything that you've just said? Like, what's the biggest problem if we were to narrow it down to one thing? What do you feel is the biggest problem there? Like something tangible, like
I think, like for these men and women that I see are struggling,
Mhm.
and that I seem to clash with. It seems to be no responsibility, no order, just blaming everyone else. Blaming others for the things that I'm encountering, my problems, right? And I'm oppressed and I suffer, so I deserve compensation of any way. So it depends, and for any reason, right? It seems to be like that, and it's just like you gotta get over it, man.
Yeah.
You got,
So
like,
how would you?
life isn't fair.
Yeah.
Well, you just got to get over that. I'm sorry, it's never going to be fair. Transcend your suffering and push through that. Take some responsibility for your own action and go out there and do something.
Yeah.
Because do something. Have a purpose. Lift a load. Carry something on your back and carry it from point A to point B. Even if you feel like you're useless.
Yeah.
As useless as you are, at least I can do that.
Yeah.
Right? At least I'm able to do this.
Yeah, for sure.
Do that, and you'll have some purpose, because you'll feel like you've actually accomplished something, instead of feeling like you're being pushed back. Well, the reason I'm not a successful movie star is because all those people in the drama club were a bunch of wimps and they didn't recognize my talent. It's no, because you suck at acting, so try and do something else.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. For sure. So specifically relating to you, what kind of goal area then do you have for yourself that it sounds like you want a role model for other people your age? Like what are your goal areas in solving this problem of responsibility for, for progressing, let's just say Canada, because that seems kind of what you want to go on, that there's a lack of so the problem that it seems like that you're identifying is the lack that there's a problem in the society of young people now with a lack of responsibility to really do something with their lives, to make a living, to pay the rent, to do this, that they push a lot of their mistakes or their responsibility onto the government or onto their parents or onto the school and try and stay into this party mentality. Right? So the problem is basically what you feel is a lack of responsibility in, we could say, the young adult culture of today. So so if that's the problem, what's the goal area do you feel like that you personally want to work on? Or like what's something that you feel is a tangible thing that you can set that bar?
Me, I always try to be a good role model. For me, it's hard for me not to get angry and frustrated when I encounter people.
So
like
would
this.
you say that would a goal area be for yourself to be able to talk about this issue or to handle it without losing your cool?
Well, yeah, I try. It gets difficult when you get thrown a few curveball of colorful words from these people, right? Who claim
Absolutely,
to be so
it would
tolerant, right? But yeah, I always try my best, right? I always try my best to help, because I don't want to, you don't want to come off like a jerk. I was raised better that way, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to come off like a jerk. But in your private moments, you can't help but think, or like I'm having a discussion with you, you can't help but think, like, look at this moron, right?
Yeah.
Like, look at him. Look at this guy. He has no idea what he's doing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And he should know how to do that,
Mm-hmm.
right? How does that guy not know that he has a flat tire and his car is leaning on an angle as he's driving down the road? Oh, is my tire? Do I have a flat? Yeah, you better change that. Well, I don't know how.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like little things like that. It's hard for me not to get like mad at that. But you know what? Maybe I don't know their upbringing. I don't know where they came from.
So what are some things to reach the goal then of not losing your cool or to get frustrated? Like you can feel passionate about something, but to not feel angry about that guy because like you just said, he's not able to lose his cool. Or sorry, if he can't change his tire or any of this, you don't want to lose your cool, but that it rises up inside of you. So what's like a goal area like? So we've identified that you feel like there's a lack of responsibility in our culture.
I always encourage guys to take on more responsibility.
So
whenever I encounter guys my age or younger, or even a little older, when they seem to, whenever we have a discussion, and it seems like their life, like it seems out of place, right? Either they have too much going on and they can't organize it, or they got not enough going on and they're just coasting and being lazy. I always encourage guys to say like, well, maybe it's time for a little reorder. You know what I mean? A shuffling around in like priorities.
Yeah.
Get things straight. You're spending more money than you're bringing in. That's not good. Mm-hmm. You should obviously have that checked out.
Yeah. So it sounds like then for your goal area, right, to not lose your cool, is
have rational discussions.
Have rational discussions, but
little encouragements.
Yeah. So your goal then, you would say for this week going back into work, right? So the problem is you're feeling frustrated that there's this lack of responsibility and almost like a privilege mentality that everyone and I don't have to work hard for it. So there's that. Then there's the goal area of I want to be able to talk about this and to people without losing my cool.
Yeah.
And really how you want to go about doing that, I'm guessing throughout the next week or whenever we talk next, is just, through thoughtful and honest discussion, as well as for you, encouraging others, just to maybe strive for more.
Oh, absolutely.
And really go out there and try and, make something of themselves, which is a great thing.
Yeah, I've tried to do that for quite some time now. And for some people, it's harder for me because you're like, well, it's going to be really hard for you to actually do something, right?
Yeah.
Because you've done nothing. Like you are 27 years old, you've never had a full-time job, right? And you seem to have no drive to do anything, right? And you have 2 kids with 2 different guys, woman. Like seriously, shut your legs and just pick up a book and study or do something, right? Fill out a resume.
Yeah.
Stop having babies with random strangers off of Tinder and like still working at McDonald's. Like, do something.
Yeah.
Like, and this is a friend of mine, and you try not to get mad at this woman, but it's still at the same time you just want to pick up and just be like, what is the matter with you?
Yeah, no, for sure.
But you still got to be like gentle and you got to try and be like encouraging at that moment, right? But
well, it sounds like then just having this discussion here was a safe place to kind of get all that out, but that it sounds like to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, or are we like, do you feel like identifying the problem, coming up with those goals, like do you feel like you have this week the opportunity to go out and encourage people kind of with that more gentler challenge, but to set that example by encouraging and talking with through honest discussion and
oh yeah,
awesome.
I think I can do that.
Awesome. Sweet, man. Well, hey, you know what, I think this has been great, and I think that you're going to be able to do that 100%.
Thank you.
No problem. Well, hey, thanks for talking.
No worries, man. Always a pleasure.
Awesome.